Howdy! Howdy, y'all. It is me, Ray the Big O, and we're back again with another stream. Today we're playing another recommendation from my friend Rem, my mod Rem. She recommended a game called Mushroom Musume to me. Let me sound back on, working. Turn it up a little bit. It's a very quiet game. Seems to be anyways. Okay. I love that this game decided to start in windowed mode. It's really nice for the way I stream. But yes. Oh, that's right. You guys can't see yet. Ah, there we are. Yeah. Hello, Rem. Welcome in. I am going to check out this game you so kindly recommended to me. Let's begin. Go to password. All right. If you believe you would know a magic word to unlock something special, whisper that word. Type in, I love you. Oh. Oh my. Oh, sweet. Do you like desserts? Perhaps I can interest you in a special treat. Here, pick anything you'd like. A cute chocolate heart, pastel heart candies, a box of assorted chocolates, a key lime pie. I'm not a fan of sweets. Chocolate heart, pastel heart candies. Go for a box of assorted chocolates. That sounds pretty good. Oh, what an ideal romantic gift. Don't be shy. Take it. I love you too. Oh god, I may have chosen wrong. I didn't realize this would cause the Virtual Boy filter to kick in. I always appreciate flattery, so do stop by again soon. Would you like to whisper more? Actually, this is not quite as abrasive as I've seen other games do this same sort of filter. This is actually nice. Let us begin. Once upon a time, there was a humble recluse. Each card has a different color, I believe. Yeah, I believe you're right. At least that's what I had surmised as I was picking through the cards. Though they had no need for society, they did often find themselves home to a loneliness that they could never quite shake. In the morning, the sun would rise, at night it would set. The recluse would observe the splendor, knowing that the sight would be made all the more beautiful by having someone to share it with. It wasn't that they desired a relationship. Perhaps it was a flame that had burned them one too many times, or perhaps they were simply disinterested. No, a child. That's what they wanted. Someone to take care of, to teach. Unfortunately, it was a longing that could not be found. Not in these woods, alone. Oh no! Yes, you go take care of spilled thing, Rem. I will be here when you get back. I promise. However, we are never quite as alone as we think, are we? One day, a witch appeared, as if drawn by the intensity of the recluse's desire. The lumber that the recluse had spent the morning gathering slipped through their hands as they spotted her. The Witch of the Woods. She began to speak. You desire a child, yes? For some, those are quite easy to come by, but not you, it would seem. Let us make a deal, then. If you do 3 simple chores for me, I will present you with a daughter of your very own. The recluse, caught up in a moment of naivete, quickly agreed. The witch, knowing that the recluse was destined to accept, simply nodded and began to deliver the first of these so-called chores without hesitation. There have been some activities I've been meaning to get to. Perhaps you could make yourself useful and cross one off the list for me. Not realizing that they were simply saving the witch some time, the recluse determined which tasks they were most suited for. Restock a selection of unsettling components. Test a selection of elixirs for quality. Organize a surprisingly understated collection of keepsakes. Let's reorganize her knick-knack rack. Why not see what a witch's most prized personal possessions look like? It's not like they would ever get this chance again, after all. The recluse spent a quiet afternoon carefully unpacking and rearranging her belongings, silently speculating to themselves about the sort of life this witch had led. Arriving back to their meeting point, the recluse was excited to report their progress to the witch. Ah, very good. How kind of you. After quickly wiping themselves down, the recluse returned to their hut for the remainder of the night. The second day. The recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages. Having a purpose again soothed them, even if they had found themselves caught up with a witch. They elected not to think about that, though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to do, which was to say, they got up and went to meet with the witch. Upon watching the recluse's approach, a sardonic smile lit the witch's face. You completed your first task admirably. 2 more, and I can finally give you what you want. She paused for only a moment before delivering her next message of import. Your child will come into this world with little to her name. Let us even the scales. Bring me an heirloom, something she will forever value. The recluse thought on it briefly, searching through their home for the object they had pictured. Glimmering music box, a dark weathered tome, a hairbow from your previous daughter blackened with age. I see. So do we want them to be sentimental? No, that's not quite sentimental. It's more wistful. Do we want them to harness the black eldritch powers of the abyss and bend reality to their wills? Or do they want... This seems like more of a thing for the father. Just a sentimental hairbow that belonged to his previous daughter. Yes, you will be my next kin. Child of my child. Or, no, that's wrong. You will outdo your predecessor. Kind of want to give him the music box. A soft, beautiful tune played from the jeweled box. It had been created to bring joy and beauty to all around it, which you found admirable in theory. The recluse hoped that their daughter could have that privilege. To think that she could focus on soft things like music and avoid the dark, painful things in life. Bringing their prize back to the witch, he simply gave a smile. How perfect. After their brief detour to meet with the witch, the recluse resumed their normal day-to-day schedule. The third day. With 2 assignments complete, the recluse could feel their excitement grow. If this witch was being honest, and for some reason they felt that she was, then that meant that this could be the last night they spent without a child. They hoped so, at least. That was all they could do. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed to the meeting spot. Again, the witch had been waiting there for them. Welcome back, recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day, is it not? The last thing is an easy one, or at least I believe so. Bring me something colorful, something bright, that you think will suit her. When they were first told of the 3 tasks, the recluse had imagined that they were much more difficult. This seemed so easy as to be a trick. Which, they supposed, only meant that they should take it seriously, as if a mistake could mean death. With death in mind, the recluse needed to decide where to search for color. Okay. I do not wish to compete with the music. I also do not wish for the music to be unhearable, so there we go. With death in mind, the recluse needed to decide where to search for color. A field of flowers, or a stony river. If I was looking for something colorful, I probably would go to a field of flowers. If someone wanted color, where else was there to even consider? The recluse decided to make their way to a particularly idyllic field of flowers. The field was filled with an overwhelming amount of choice. Before long, the recluse narrowed the options down to a few. Forget-me-nots, light-hearted blue flowerets. Milkweed, the bright orange herald of the butterflies. What's that? A pumpkin? Foxglove, purple bell-like blooms. And bleeding hearts, sanguine in symbolic drops. Dude, a pumpkin? Dude, we love pumpkins around here. We fucking love pumpkins! We're taking the pumpkin. It's not a flower, the recluse figured, but perhaps that's okay. Their daughter would be unique, like a single gourd sitting proudly at a field of daisies. Just a single pumpkin that's like, hey guys, is sitting out among a whole bunch of daisies and tulips and such. Just like the pumpkin in their hands was before they took it. Oh, we got a new filter. Can I wait? High contrast. No. Chroma collection. Got a pumpkin color. Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? We'll roll with the punches. We'll let it be pumpkin colored. That's fine. The recluse returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. She silently took the object, nodding her head to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. Oh ho ho, you want your promised daughter, don't you? Her voice was almost mocking, but at least it was not overtly cruel. I suppose I must tell you that I lied, human. I do require several more trifling things from you. First is the matter of payment. The recluse should have known that everything was for a cost. Do we get to decide what the witch demands of him? Yes, thank you for doing these chores for me. Now give me $5. Pay me now with life. Pay me sometime soon in larger quantities. Pay me at a much later date in the way I choose. Oh, that's... No, pay with blood. Let's... You want something out of nothing? You pay the dark blood price. They told the witch they would offer life as payment. Certainly. Stepping forward, she took them in a cold yet not unkind embrace. They awoke hours later with an uneasy feeling that something was missing. The witch was still there, waiting for the recluse. I don't know what that just was. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Humans are tricky, but mushrooms are much more resilient. Consider this an upgrade. Don't worry, eventually she will develop a mind. Simply give her time, as much as she needs. Soon your wish will be in full bloom. I suppose with all that settled, though, there is one last thing for you to consider. A young girl needs a proper name. The recluse thought on the witch's demand before offering the final thing they had to give. Do I give them a good serious name? Or do I let the intrusive thoughts win and name her something bizarre and silly? Rem, hope you finish cleaning up your spilled thing, because I need your help. I need a good, like, actual kind of, like, a good fantasy name, because otherwise I can't help myself, and I'm going to name her something like Concula. I should not be allowed to name children. Ah. Is nobody gonna stop me? Does nobody have a better name suggestion? I can do it better. Yeah, there we go. Her name is Conkululu. Conkululu. Nobody stopped me, so it's Conkululu it is. Give me a second to, like, actually rein myself in. I'm so dumb sometimes. Ah, my sweet precious child, Conkululu. Okay. Really trying not hard not to, like, hold it together. Hang on. I'm just gonna drink some water real quick. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm centered. Focused. Then she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Okay. Chapter 2. Cultivation. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed her instructions. Welcome back, Ram. You're just a little too late to stop me from making an unfortunate decision. I needed somebody to stop me, and there was nobody. You're sticky. Oh no! care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up, as any parent should, and assessed the things they needed to raise a child. I have named my child. Her name is Conkululu. Because no one was here to stop me from my intrusive thoughts telling me to name them something silly. Finances, in case the nearby village had goods or services that you could not provide. Nutrients for the child, to help it grow strong. They would need plenty, as it would be depleted on a daily basis. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Also, our color palette changed because the witch told me to get something colorful, so I went out to a field of flowers and found a pumpkin. And so now we have the pumpkin color palette. Let me know if you prefer the old palette. I can change it back. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. The day's gotten away from you already. Already the sun's gentle descent is being swallowed behind the forest's reach. You weren't able to finish everything you set out for today, but you only have time for one more chore. Already worked hard enough. Retire to the tavern. Finish a favor for the village leader asks of you. Barter for some fine substrates to better grow your daughter. Purchase new construction materials for your hut. See if we can get some better substrates to help grow our daughter. Substrates are good, I think. Yeah. Oh, can I look at info? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Conkalulu. A pumpkin mushroom. An amateur mycologist in the village recently informed you that he had some new supplies that may interest you. Yeah, look at this stubby shroom. Deciding to take him up on the offer, you come to the conclusion after a brief meeting that he was right. Substrate is effectively growing medium. Okay, cool. And welcome in, Zalsa Ruhna, Game of the Year edition. Yes, she did. She's like, Ray, play game. So I looked it up on itch.io. The last time she suggested a game to me was You're Not My Neighbor, which was a lot of fun, so I thought I'd try this one too. You take home a fine new pouch of soil, and he takes some of your hard-earned coin. Your tasks behind you, you and your daughter return home. Each do a nice bath and a simple dinner. Recently, you've begun to think about your daughter's living quarters, specifically her pot. You have a few ideas of how to improve it, but you only have so much time. Which do you decide to move forward with? Use your cooking scraps as compost? Decorate the pot. And hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Ray the Big O. I'm a variety streamer. I play kind of whatever kind of takes my fancy. It's a lot of indie games and retro games and stuff. and also currently me and Rem there are going through Baldur's Gate 3 together. But on the days when I'm not doing that, I am usually streaming some kind of weird indie game or just whatever I feel like. I feel like I have a pretty, well, not often too many people in my chat, to be honest, but I feel like I'm starting to grow a pretty chill community. And I am. I'm enjoying the game so far. Let's see. Use your cooking scraps as compost. Decorate the pot. Ensure that her soil remains ever damp. Infuse the soil with a drop of your own blood. Buy some fancy substrate from town. Blood of my blood. Kin of my kin. This mushroom is to be your daughter. You think it's only appropriate to share some of your blood with her. That is typical of a parent and child, you have been told. You want your daughter to know her parent. Hey, you monster, throwing away my tiny robots. You want your daughter to know her parent, so you prick your finger and tell her your darkest secret as you quench your thirst. Though you do not need her to share your burdens in life, you think it's only fair that she has an inkling of what those burdens are. Her quality of life having been improved, life continues. You just lean down to the mushroom and you're like, this one time, the carpenter in town ripped me off on fixing up my shack a bit. So I took a dump behind his workplace. That's just between you and me, mushroom. Huh? Something's happening. Oh! Your daughter has changed in the night. One morning you awaken with a weight on your chest and open your eyes to find a heavy mushroom sitting atop you. Right? Dude, I love it. The creature has grown little arms and legs and demonstrates her newfound mobility by clambering off the bed as you wake. She's staring at you, yeah. It's like, hey, what you doing? Father awaken. Her demeanor seems cheerful, wandering about in an excitable and inquisitive mood. Encourage her optimism. Your daughter's development is going better than expected, and you want to promote her cheerful nature. You encourage her to appreciate beautiful things, bringing her to that flower-filled glade you once visited. Enthralled by the wondrous sights, appreciating nature quickly becomes her favorite pastime. She spends much of her time wandering outside. The decision being made, life continued. One evening, you hear a light knocking at your door, quite a rare occurrence. Peeking through the window, you witness none other than the Witch of the Woods standing on the doorstep of your humble hut. Could she be here for a visit, or to settle a debt? Privately request a stipend. Introduce her to your daughter. This is the witch that helped us get our daughter. Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. She could maybe even learn a thing or two. The two of you answer the door and invite the gloomy woman inside for dry and awkward small talk. Something about the way the two absently stare at each other. You wonder if they've made some sort of connection today. The decision being made, life continued. Yes, tea. You realize that you've finished all your work for the week and have a whole day free. Seen a kite spend some time cleaning up. Let's teach our daughter some important lessons. You decide it would be a good use of time to spend the day teaching. You see that you two enjoy staring into nothingness with joy. How grand. Your daughter doesn't really like to sit and listen, but you manage to impart some life lessons. The decision being made, life continued. Huh? Something's happening. Your daughter has changed in the night. A little goofy looking, but still love her. She looks like a mud baby. Yeah, kind of. Beat her into mud puddles and she would be so happy. One morning, you notice that your daughter is nowhere to be seen. After an hour of searching the nearby area, you find her walking into a nearby meadow. To your surprise, the creature had now taken the form of a young girl. You feel relieved to confirm that the witch hadn't betrayed you. What's the info button do? Basically lets you, yeah, it's the info. Oh, their affection has dropped. They loved me a lot more when they were just a faceless shroom in a pot. Environment excellent in quantity. Disposition underdeveloped and bland. What? Mystic bond. Child. Interesting. They're still young. They have time to develop an actual distinctive personality. They won't continue being bland. This isn't my fault. Let's get you some seasoning. To your surprise, the creature has now taken the form of... Oh, yeah. At your approach, she turns and grins at you excitedly, before continuing to appreciate her surroundings. Sure, play. Buy her a nice gift to celebrate. I got a little bit of money. Let's buy her a gift. Today feels like a momentous achievement, so you tell your daughter you're going to the village to buy her a present. She jumps up and down excitedly, and the two of you head back to prepare for a trip into town. Your daughter thoroughly enjoys the outing and lovingly clutches the stuffed toy she picked out at the market. The decision being made, life continued. She leaves little mud prints behind. That would be adorable. You've been irresponsible with your funds. One more necessary expense and you won't have enough food to survive. What? Oh. My finances are a question mark now. What? How much did that stuffed toy cost? I had like 4 finances. You loathe to interact with others, but you may have to find some work in town. No, we have to... She's happy though, whatever, right? We're gonna have to get a job. You swallow your pride and head to the village to do manual labor. It's demeaning work, but the fruits of your labor will ensure you and your daughter will survive another day. Decision being made, life continuing. A flock of hungry birds have been harassing both your crops and your daughter recently. Son of a bitchin' birds. In fact, they've become quite the nuisance. Get your bow and hunt the birds. You retrieve your bow and are lucky to leave with not one, but 2 birds from the flock. They shouldn't show up again for a while. You and your daughter may rest. Nothing more could be done to the birds. The matter was laid to rest. An end? It had been many strange weeks since the witch had gifted you an enchanted pot of dirt. It felt like much longer. You had perhaps underestimated the amount of effort it would take to rear a child, the long days and nights toiling for her every need you left you drained. And that constant aching tiredness made it difficult to be present for the girl. You suspected you weren't the role model a growing child needed. You sat down your mug of ale, readying yourself for another night of restless sleep. Maybe in the morning things would be easier. Aw, damn. My stamina. And a new beginning. Aw, now we're super pink. You had suspected for a long time that your time at the recluse was coming to an end. Oh, I think we've transitioned to being the child rather than the recluse now. 3-star girl. Is that what happened? Oh. Hang on a second. I see. Okay. Immediately assuming pink was bad. You had suspected you for a long time that your time with the recluse was coming to an end. They raised you, you suppose, but it often felt like you were trapped. Like you were kept locked away, unwanted and forgotten. What? You're older now. You have the ability to fend for yourself. There's no reason to stay where you aren't wanted. Oh no. I thought I did a good job as a father. Your preparations have been underway for a while. You've made a little place for yourself to live in the woods. Tomorrow is the day to act on your plan. And while the path ahead of you seems a little frightening, things can only get better from here. Maybe in the morning, you'll finally be able to see for yourself. Oh, well, look at that. She is rosaceous and dripping. Pet dad right now. She is an elegant, rosy vein cap. Interesting. Tokens. Promissory price. Use these to purchase goods or tokens. Reputation, relative obscurity. Bond, distant parent. Clicking on traits will give you descriptions. Oh, okay. Thank you. You have never met a person who is not deeply swayed by your rosy cheeks. Oh, I didn't know. I just noticed. Yeah, she does have little swirl cheeks. Dude, she looks like strawberry shortcake. If strawberry shortcake had like a big mushroom on her, vein cap mushroom on her head. Your body exudes a strange liquid and drips constantly. Because you taught her life lessons. Brainiac shortcake, yeah. A girl on her own. While aimlessly wandering one day, you decided that the best use of your time would be to do some scouting. Kind of like a cross between freaking Strawberry Shortcake and Jimmy Neutron. She's gonna brain blast somebody. But she's gonna do it in the most adorable way possible. Little footprints are now weird ooze prints. It's always useful to expand your mental map of the area. The country near your home is lush, with many diverse landscapes to be found. You decide to head to the north, toward a particularly damp, dense forest that's home to a variety of useful plants. As a child, this is where you knew to get medicine plants from, but there was a danger there as well. You step into the forest, feeling a humid breeze on your fungal cheek. There's an omnipresent buzz of insects pervading the air. This section of the forest feels much different from where you live, and you find that it's hard to feel at peace. Despite this, the flora and fauna is resplendent. You find yourself looking from plant to plant. Finally, you see something quite interesting. A beautiful, large pink flower stands tall in a nearby clearing. The petals are twisted, forming a large, sparkling bud that is larger than your head. The single flower is a distinction of the plant, but you observe that the stalk is robust and strangely segmented. It feels a bit like a monolith. For a moment, you simply stand and stare at it. Something about this strange plant leaves you with a feeling of awe. Might want to save just in case. Okay, thank you. Sure thing. That's not an ominous statement at all, but I appreciate it. You suspect that you may be able to sell this flower in the market for quite a pretty penny, or perhaps keep its splendor for yourself. Oh, hey, Stoic. Welcome in, man. I love this card. Just leave it. Nope. What do you think, Rem? Do we pick the flower and see if it turns into some weird kind of hostile creature? Or if it's just a really big, cool flower? Hey, you know what? We saved. I want the flower. We'll pick it. In time, if left alone, the flower will eventually die here. When you think about it, there's really no harm in taking it from these woods. Yeah, I don't really let failure ever really get to me much. Especially in narrative, like choose-your-own-adventure type games, kind of like this, a bit. Without spending too long in thought, you walk up to the plant and grab the flower by the stem. But when you do, the flower opens its eye. Oh, here we go. This, understandably, gives you quite a shock. You leap back, seeing the flower unfold in front of your own eyes. It takes you a moment of processing to understand, but finally you make the connection. This is not a plant at all. It is a beast. Its eye is large, still haloed by the petals that had initially attracted you. To be frank, it's hard to entirely understand the shape of it in the commotion. You do understand that it has a hefty central mass, mossy green and camouflaged with its stems and stalks. You also come to understand that this body itself is not a solid form, as it splits horizontally down the middle. Inside is an array of sharp and uneven white stones. Oh god, teeth. It's a teeth flower. In another second, you understand these too. Teeth. Before it could make itself even more known to you, you figured it was time to do something. Let's fucking book it out of there. Simply put, there was absolutely nothing worth sticking around this situation for. Okay, nice. As soon as the impulse hits you, you take off. The unfamiliarity of the terrain barely matters to you as you let your feet guide your path. Yeah, we passed the DC for escaping. I was a little worried when I saw it was a 9, and then I realized that it was rolling a D10. Finally, as you reach the edge of the forest, you collapse as the exhilaration passes you. The thing had stopped giving pursuit ages ago, and yet you still kept running until now. Perhaps at a certain point it became more about the excitement of the chase. Nevertheless, you are safe. Uh-oh. Our little girl's becoming a thrill seeker. You make your way home, thinking about the strange creature you had encountered. There's a knock at your door. When you go to answer, you see a man dressed in an elegant black suit. Are you the fungal woman of the woods? He asks, as though seeing you in the mushy flesh was not enough. Ribbons? You look different somehow, more rectangular, haircut. Yes, definitely got my haircut. No, it's a fun little PNG tuber that Ethereal Ramira put together for me. And I got a little rat gif dancing on his head as he floats through space. Thanks. Fungal woman sounds offensive somehow. I love the little guy. My employer wishes to invite you to a small dinner gathering. She's heard much about you and thinks her guests would relish the chance to actually be acquainted with you. She wants me for dinner. You stand there, slightly in shock, as the man proceeds to outline the details of the event. When you should arrive, what sort of clothing you should wear. Oh, do you wear clothing? I'll have to double check the dress code, etc. Finally, after handing you a small scrap of paper with elegant writing on it, and bidding you adieu, the man left your doorstep. You think about the events that's been described to you, and ultimately come to a decision. You have learned not to meddle in the affairs of humans. Attend the event and simply be yourself. Yeah, I mean, let's get out there and meet people. Let's develop by being sociable. You figure, why not? They would like to meet you. You should be kind enough to allow that. On the day of the event, you gather yourself. You have nerves, of course, but that's only natural. You make your way to the party. When you arrive, you see dozens of people dressed in monocles and other strange clothing items that don't seem to serve any practical purpose. I love that she knows what monocles are, but everything else seems strange to her. Maybe the recluse wore a monocle. They're all sitting at a long rectangular table. spotted with food dishes that you couldn't even begin to guess the identity of. A woman eventually greets you with an excited shriek. "Oh, you are just darling! Butler, please fetch a drink for our guest and have her seated." You figure this is the host, and thank her for your invitation. She moves to sit next to you at the large table, and ends up keeping you company for the rest of the night. No. Over the course of the evening, she introduces you to everyone around the table. Most seem charmed by you, if a little bored, until you get to one particularly rude man. He shoves his bony index finger into your face. Goodness, this is the worst one yet. Where do you keep finding these beasts? The host seems displeased at this outburst and excused the man from the premises, but you were left with a feeling of discomfort after that. Bite it off. It's an interaction you find yourself thinking about as you walk home, and sometimes at night when you try to fall asleep. That's it. We should have never talked to humans. It's a bad idea. We should have just stayed in the forest with the fake flowers that try to eat us. Walking around the village one day, you overhear a gaggle of fun-sized humans. I love that description. You overhear a gaggle of fun-sized humans giggling the time away. Eat them. They're not sticker bars, they're people. You gradually sneak up on them and get close. Oh, maybe we are going to eat them. Remarkably close. They don't really seem to care that you're there. Hey, wait. Are they ignoring you on purpose? The nerve of some fleshies. At least you can listen in on whatever they seems to be so engrossing. Fleshies. That's like when I was playing Echo Knight and Ella came in here and called the people that weren't ghosts aliveys. It said something about, what was it? People just being flesh shelves for skeletons or something like that. Yeah, she called them aliveys. How much? One of the children exclaims, her jaw dropped in sheer awe of another kid, whose chest is proudly puffed out. With a grin, the child reiterates, "Enough to buy 3 bags of candy." That's a very childish voice. "How do you do, fellow children?" "No fares," another child cries out. "When I lost mine, all she brought me was enough for a hoop and a stick." Ray was never a child. I was a kid. You've seen a picture of me when I was like 4 years old. The other kids looked at the child with pity. Hoop and stick was so last season. Well, anyway, the boastful kid continued, I have another one loose, so I can expect even more candy here soon. Oh, they're talking about teeth. That's not fair. I want to lose a tooth. You're younger than me. What gives? Probably because of all that candy, one of the kids said, getting met with only a shrug from the proud child as he snacked on his treats. Whatever. I'm gonna go home and pull my tooth out myself. When you see me next, I'll have 4 bags of candy. The girl stormed off, determined to come into some coin of her own. Which is odd, when you think about it. Do these kids get money for their teeth? Do they sell their other parts? You wondered briefly about the value of a kidney. Of a kidney? When you go to the college? Oh, that escalated quickly. It's just like, they get enough money to buy candy with their teeth? What if I took a kidney and put it underneath my pillow? How much money would that get me? This face is like, hey, how about them kidneys? Aha, you realize. There's a caveat. One must need a tooth, and then store it under their pillow. And then... money? Last you checked, what you'd consider your teeth grow back after some time. This could prove to be a lucrative venture. At length you arrive home and find yourself less certain about this than you were in the village. It's not like the fun-sized humans are known for their honesty. I love that we're still calling them that. You pause a moment and think. Yeah, you know what? One tooth is not gonna kill us. Let's fucking go for it. Let's... science. That's what we're doing here. Science. Not wanting to put any more time in attempting to convince yourself otherwise, you reach up into your mouth and grab hold of what passes in your body as a tooth. Slowly, steadily, pressure builds as you pull, and then... nope! A tooth broke off easily, like a bar of chocolate. But oh, mycelium, so much worse. Regardless, you are now in the possession of a detached tooth, and are eager to see what comes with resting it under your pillow. You snap awake in the middle of the night, your first thought being what lays beneath your pillow. But when you check, you find nothing. Not even your tooth remains. Scammed by the Tooth Fairy! What? Oh, goody. Goody. Oh, so you was awake then, eh? A small voice chimes from the center of your room. Glancing over, you spot an ill-tempered fairy and their few companions. See, here's the thing. You's put a tooth under the pillow. All fine and fair, till that tooth turns out to be a tooth. The group of Fae all stare you down. You suspect it's for the best to remain still and listen to the big palooka up front. Now, I'm a reasonable guy. I clock in, I clock out, and I don't want no trouble no how. But the issue here is that the boss lady ain't too keen on these types of shenanigans. Now I can see you're just an innocent mush lady, and so this ordeal can be overlooked this time. Unfortunately, we ain't able to give back the tooth of yours. Company practice, capiche? Let's not tell them they grow back. This is the perfect reading of this character. You know, it helps that I play a little bit of D&D, or well, D&D type tabletop games, and one of my characters happens to be a space rat with a New Yorker accent. Yo, my name is Sakin. I'm an ace pilot. I'm a master hacker. And yo, I commit a little arson here and there. That guy knows. Points to a charred android. Funny thing is, I wasn't very confident of my accent when I started playing Starfinder, but it has grown into something I can slip into so easily that it's just, it has literally become my, like, a fake accent that sometimes becomes like my main accent when I just want it to. Yeah. Don't tell him it grows back. I'm with you there. It was actually quite fresh. Honestly, it tasted better than most of the cats we get around there. What did you just say? Oh right, the boss lady's well, she's got a particular taste, it would seem. You know, that too shaved off over some food. It's like nice mushroom powder. Dude, they're grating my teeth over fucking food. Like it's goddamn Parmesan cheese. And yo, if you've ever got any more, The fairy begins fidgeting on his person. And his companions all seem suddenly much more intrigued by your abilities. Here, take this. The fairy pulls out an adorably small business card from his pocket, handing it over. You look it over. There are words on the front, and on the back, it seems. Yo, I think this could be the start of a beautiful friendship between you and I. You picking up what I'm putting down? Is that a number? You're pretty sure that's a number. Though if it is, it's really long. Wow. The fairy in charge catches your confusion, and upon realizing the situation, procures a different card. This one simply has a crude picture of someone kicking multiple mushrooms arranged in a circle. Oh, give us a ring sometime, yeah? The main fairy says. Looking back at the artwork, you can't help but feel like it's a hate crime. But upon looking back up, you realize the fairies have vanished without a trace. Only the lingering smell of bad aftershave and latent face stink remains. Unsatisfied with the lack of reward under your pillow, and annoyed by the usual fairy shenanigans, you attempt to go back to sleep. Maybe you'll check out that Tooth Fairy's deal someday. Until then, however, it's the middle of the night, and sleep beckons. I gained a trait. Wait, my traits in inventory. I've got a business card. Small business card for the Tooth Fairies. For the Tooth Fairies Syndicate. Creator of the Witch of the Woods. I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this too. You feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting. Trees are changing in color. Fall has arrived. A man wearing vibrant, multicolored robes and a large pack approaches your home. He's heard rumors of a beautiful fungal woman and has come to paint you. He asks if you will give him the honor of being the first to put your beauty on the canvas. You're not so vain as you want art made of you. Accept the artist's request and let him paint you. Paint me like one of your French mushrooms. Like one of your fungal women. Oh, we have an opportunity. We could potentially learn a skill in painting. Or we could decide to be painted. I feel like I'm gonna try to see if I can learn his craft. Ah, nice, yes! He's caught off guard by your request, but happily agrees. The two of you sit together for most of the day while he teaches you a few things. After you've started to get a feel for the colorful artist. After you've started to get a feel for it, the colorful artist packs up and heads out, gifting you with some paints, brushes, and small bits of parchment. The sun is low in the sky, casting a beautiful warm tint across everything you just saw. For everything you saw. Wait. Where are these? It says I'm getting traits, but I don't know where they... Oh, here we go. You've learned how to paint. Okay. The sun is low in the sky, casting a beautiful warm tint across everything that you saw. Today it is a particularly beautiful sight, blossoming fruit trees and the wind blowing through the grass. Your eyes feel heavy, and suddenly you find yourself falling into a deep sleep. In your dreams, you're sitting on a tree branch. There's a flute playing somewhere. Then suddenly the flute is next to you. Attached to it is the vague shape of a woman. I haven't seen you around here before. Welcome. Whenever you go to look at her, it feels as like she shifts. You can't quite describe her. You probably won't remember me when you wake up, but it's nice to meet you. After sitting in silence for a second, she starts playing again. Where do you go when I'm awake? Fuck it, it's a dream, let's fly! Try to memorize this place, so we could potentially try to find it later, I guess? Or sing along. Like fly or sing? True. I'm gonna try to sing along. You close your eyes, absently singing along with the flute. Your voice sounds beautiful. Things could not be more perfect. Eventually, before you know it, your eyes are opening. It's dark out. You should be getting home. While wandering the woods, you always do your best to remain vigilant to possible outside entities that you could run into. Certain animals are keen to cause problems for you, and that's not even to mention the humans. It's with this awareness that you detect a nearby being. You pause, listening to the soft sounds of footsteps. Human footsteps, you suspect, or at least something vaguely human in shape. Finally, you can spot the intruder. A realization floods over you. The recluse. Do we say hi to Dad, or do we just kind of think back into the woods? I'm thinking about just jumping out and saying hi to them. But we could always just let them go. They are a distant parent after all. That is true. we might not actually get as much as we want out of actually talking to them. So maybe it is just best if we let them be. The recluse? No, no, no. You simply don't have the capacity of thought and emotion to deal with this today. The kindest thing you can do for yourself is just leave, so you do. You are awoken in the middle of the night by a loud crash from your kitchen. You scramble to investigate, and finally catch the source of the racket. A man hunched over in pain, in the middle of your cooking nook. In the middle of your cooking nook. He spots you and seems to panic, waving his hands around. Oh, wait, that's not what it looks like! Well, it's not exactly what it looks like, but I injured myself, so I'm no longer pursuing that plan. Why don't you bless a poor fool and choose to excuse my rudeness? Dude, was this guy robbing me, and then he, like, cut himself on a knife or something like that? Or accidentally stabbed himself or had a pan fall on his head? And now he's like, look, man, let's just be chill. Let's be cool. Look, I'm hurting too. Fucking eat him. An injured thief is still a thief. Kick him out. Look for some schmucks that just ain't their day, right? No, you know what? Fucking get out of my house. No, no, no. No one will break into your house and tell you to forgive them. You roughly grab the man by the scruff of his collar, then proceed to take out the trash. Excuse Gale's rudeness. Oh, I'm sorry I broke into your house, but I'm just so hungry. You don't have a pair of magic boots anywhere that I could eat, do you? I'm so hungry. A chilling breeze greets you one morning, heralding the approach of winter. The end of year approaches, and you find yourself considering your aspirations. You want to accomplish something significant, you decide. Something you'll remember. Take on a dangerous quest, or attend a charming evening at the gala. Pursue a great aspiration. Decide not to pursue anything. I feel like the type of mushroom daughter we've raised doesn't want a dangerous quest. Great aspiration if you want the Tooth Fairy bit. I was actually thinking of great aspiration. But if it's going to bring the Tooth Fairy thing around again, we might actually do that. Yeah, absolutely would. Flower Eye. But she booked it. We booked it out of there. When that flower tried to fucking eat us. True, she did get a little bit of a thrill from it, though. There is something you wanted to accomplish, actually. You need some great achievement to end the year on a high point. The first three options will have a second menu that has a Nevermind option that brings you back to this menu. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Thanks. Oh, yeah, okay. So here we go. Take the Tooth Syndicate up on their offer. Oh, let's go into business together. Remembering the business card invitation you received by your magical intruder, you decide to humor them. Plus, who knows what they have to offer? It's at least worth investigating. Plus, the boss sounded a bit interested in what you have to offer. Nice, this one is peaked, but you wrote it? Oh, awesome! So you're a bit biased? That's really fucking cool. You decide you'll go when the time is right. After all, the last tooth you used has only just barely grown back. No pressure on me keeping the voices up then. No, this is what I like to do when I'm reading stuff usually. I like doing voices. Strolling through the village, you find a donation box in front of the church. It offers lovely hats that might dress your oddly shaped head yet. Also, I'm honored to have someone who worked on the game in my chat. I really am enjoying the hell out of this. And if no one particularly minds, you may even be able to keep one of them. Take all the hats, why not? You wear them all so well. Take the big hat in your favorite color. Leave the hats, you don't need them anyways. No, let's take a big hat. Crit success. You're still new to fashion in some ways, seeing as your clothes are growing directly on your body. Despite that, you find the hat to be lovely. You feel quite nice about yourself. Primarily the composer, but I do a bit of writing, sound design too. Cool. Yeah, the music in this has been like nice and chill and very nice and atmospheric. The team is 3 consistent folks overall. Oh, cool. While on your way to gather firewood. Oh wait, I think I just got a trait. No. I got a hat. Find yourself a piece of clothing that fits your cap incredibly well. Nice. While on your way to gather firewood, you find that your world is suddenly turned upside down, quite literally. After a second of disorientation, you suss out that you somehow walked yourself right into a trap. Your foot is above you, caught in a thick rope loop. You call for help, hoping someone is nearby. Thankfully, that seems to be the case. Yeah, I really love checking out little interesting indie games. It brings me a whole lot of joy. Like I was saying, Rem also suggested That's Not My Neighbor, which was also incredibly fun. And I've just been playing some other weird ones, like, what was it? Athenian Rhapsody was playing a little bit of, and Sword Car. Just little fun indie projects. Unfortunately for you, you recognize the man that approaches, that rotten thief. Oh. So I see that this was the .7 release of it, but from what little I've seen of it, it's still possible to play to a full completion. Is the full release going to have like a few more story paths and stuff in it? Ah, you're not quite what I pictured squirming in my trap, the man says with a sly grin. I'm in quite a predicament here. You see, I do feel bad about the other night, so I don't want to rob you again. But you were also quite mean to me the other night, so perhaps I do want to rob you. A little. He clicks his tongue, lightly tapping his fist to his opposing palm. How about this? I'll do what you so badly wanted me to do the other night. Leave. Have fun, little mushroom girl. The man winked, simply walking off, leaving you still ensnared. How rude. Now you had to figure out another plan. Wiggle your way loose. Continue to wait. See if we can wiggle loose. Ah! I think that was just barely passing. You resolve to free yourself by wiggling. Stranger things have worked. Besides, you're a fairly slimy person. Surely being a slippery sort would help you out in this situation. Yeah, the full release will have double the word count. 300k words, oh shit. As well as persistent elements through runs that both allow for roguelite elements and helps expand on greater overarching story that we have take backstage the rest of the shenanigans. Oh, nice! See, that's another thing I've really, that really drew me to this game. I'm a big fan of roguelite things that have to do with, like, cards and dice and stuff. There'll be an overview on the full release at the end of your first run. Oh, okay. Nice. Sounds good. I'll have to keep an eye on this. And maybe play it some more as it gets updated. Besides, you are you start swinging back and forth, trying to gain momentum. Finally, success! You propel yourself roughly into the floor of the forest. Grateful to be free. You barely even mind getting a little scuffed up. You happily return to your chore. You awake one night to the light of a full moon and the eerie sound of singing. As if your body isn't your own, the cool night air is drawn over your flesh upon leaving the house. And just outside, you see, a group of tiny fairies are dancing and singing inside of a ring of sprouted mushrooms. One of them spots you and watching and motions you closer. Oh, we've got an option to paint them. But I think I actually want to play with them instead. Oh no! Oh no! That song and dance pull you in, and soon you're fully entranced. As time moves forward, so do you. The fairies guide you deep into the woods. You wonder if you're going somewhere secret. One of the fairies makes an odd noise. They all scatter, leaving behind the faint trails of lights and echoes and tough, tiny laughter. The little fae have left you in the middle of the woods. You spend the rest of the night finding your way home. Just curious, did you find this through itch.io or stream? Huge uptick in traffic since Steam Nexus was so... I believe Rem was watching somebody else play it and recommended it to me and told me that it was both on Steam and itch.io. I looked up the store page on Steam and I saw that it only had a demo, so I decided to check it out on itch.io instead, where I ended up buying it there. But yeah, if your game's getting passed around a lot more because of Steam Next Fest, that's awesome. Little games like this should have a lot more eyes on them. You awake in the middling hours of a mild winter morning. I also keep my, I don't necessarily keep my eyes on Steam or anywhere specific, but a lot of times, there are some YouTubers I watch that like to check out a lot more, like, obscure or kind of, more creative, like, indie games and stuff like that. And that's usually where I will get the ideas of what I'm going to stream next. Or stuff gets recommended to me or sometimes bought for me. Rodrig is 14 years old. So you've fallen out of steam yourself? Oh no! My computer is pretty good. It was a friend of mine that I've done a lot of cool things for, decided to pay me back by buying me a new computer last year. And aside from the fact that I had to buy more RAM for it, because it only had, I think, like 4 gigabytes of RAM in it to start with, it's a really solid rig that does a lot. You awake in the middling hours of a mild winter morning. The solace of solitude is disrupted by latent birdsong carrying on the gentle wind. But try as you might, you are unable to shake the memory of the elusive Tooth Fairy and her goons. You kept the business card handed to you that night beside your bed. Grabbing it, you look it over carefully. You look it over. There are words on the front and on the back. It is a crude picture of someone kicking multiple mushrooms arranged in a circle. Give us a ring. Yo, give us a ring, you recall the main fairy saying. Looking back at the artwork, you still feel like it's a hate crime, but regardless, as the gears in your mushy brain grind, you come to a realization. Surely it can't be that on the nose. Walking outside, it doesn't take long before you set upon a small patch of mushrooms arranged in a circle. From what you've heard, these patches are quite popular among Fae folk. And, well, the card does show to commit heinous acts of what you can only assume to equate to property damage. And yet... Click. Click. Snip, snap, bippity... bap. Before you know it, the stench of cheap fragrance and cured meats envelops you. Oh, that's so good. And an angry voice calls out to you. What you's doing to my... Oh, it's you. Before you can even stammer out a greeting, a warm, soft, encompassing aura envelops you and whisks you away. When your senses return to you, you find yourself in an ethereal plane. It's less chaos incarnate and more abstracted normalcy as your brain tries to make heads or tails of the geometry. What are you talking about, Rem? You've told me so many times. You're not of the Fae. Yes. Rem here is definitely not a Fae creature in disguise. And definitely will not make a deal with you if you give her some very shiny rocks. The various inconsistencies and nuanced architectural stylings prove a bit too much for you, however, and your eyes end up focusing mostly overhead, or those blind boxes, right? Yeah. The Fae are a capricious sort. They often are willing to make deals, or perhaps not. You can't always be trusted on their word, but if you bring them a gift, such as a shiny rock, or perhaps a blind box of some sort, you may yet get what you want. Above you, the sky is luminous and beautiful. Coruscant and intimidatingly mighty. Oh, okay, mushy pants, the fairy leader from before says just beside you. Frankly, the little wise guy was a better reason to keep your eyes skywise than anything else. Ah, right in. I sees ya. Fate place can be a bit sticky in the brain if you ain't got the casing for it. Let's get you inside. Yo, Sides. Boss lady'd like to see ya. You let the fairy guide you by the hand. It seems that even the laws of gravity are mutable in this place. Hey, so yes, what we got here is a little slice of life we done cut out for ourselves. We calls it the cavity. You know, it's our own little pocket in the Fey realm. You knows. It's probably pretty lucky you done chose the right fairy circle. Might be a good time to save. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll save in a new slot. You know, pretty sure a fate away moved into the. Oh, I get it. It took me a second to take on HOA. You know, I'm pretty sure the fate away moved into the neighborhood lately, and those prudes ain't so amicable to folks as us. He pauses for a moment, realization washing over him like gravy on a steak sandwich. You know, really makes you wonder who the true syndicate is sometimes. You know, are we really that bad when the fate away's out there? Imposing all these restrictions on what we can do? He seems caught up in his own world, grumbling to himself as he guides you across the area. No, grumble, grumble. Yeah, protection money is one thing, but those fees... Who's the real villain here? And it's my grass anyway. I should get to choose its length. Meanwhile, the property prices. Oi! Oi, Gewalt! Suddenly, the mutterings stop and you can feel the tension in the ferry relax. Ah! We're here now. Come on, step inside. It's a lot prettier in there. You open your eyes, shocked to find yourself in a beautiful mansion. Oh, you like the stylings? Taken from the architectural taste of an old friend of the boss. Bit ostentatious, if you ask me. But who done love a good carven staircase? Anyways, I got to go let the boss know you was here. Feel free to peruse and such. The boss extends hospitality. As the ferry leaves, you're left to your own devices. With some time to kill, you decide to look around the residence. Actually, I'm going to save right here, because it's a closer save. To whatever choice is almost certainly, possibly, going to be a game-ending one. Well, the library, back office, explore the research office. Moves with the ferry at the front desk. Hayes, how's you doing? There's a research office? Okay, now I'm curious. Walking down a hallway, you come across a room leading into what is known as the research department. You're not sure what use the Tooth Fairy and her cronies could have for researching, but it wouldn't hurt to check out. Inside, you see several diagrams lining the walls. and multiple fairies hunched over in research. Human research by the looks of it. And not very good research either. Help the fairies understand the human condition, wax rhetoric on the weaknesses of human physiology, lament on the darkest characteristics of humanity. You know, I don't think he's had the best time with humans. Aside from the painter. Some choices will have a corresponding stat that gets highlighted below the card. Oh. Oh, humanity. Potency. Or dampness. Let's lament on the darkest characteristics of humanity. Considering all the facets of humanity that you've front-sized human, right? Considering all the facets of humanity that you've come to grips with, you think emphasizing their worst qualities would be best. And boy, there are a lot of them. You're essentially a rant. Charges out of the gate with gusto. Immediately, the researchers are all ears to you as you lay out time and time again when humanity has shown their true colors. The tale you tell is hauntingly beautiful, and a clear message to the Fae present about the dangers of dealing with humans. By the time you're done, the researchers have an entirely new outlook on their jobs. Satisfied, and leaving them in silence, you return to the foyer. Still waiting on the ferry, there's time left to explore. Let's go check out the kitchen. Meandering into the room off the side of the foyer, you come across a robust dining area. I'm actually gonna make another save right there. It's filled with a myriad of miniature seats placed before regal tables draped with ostentatious linens. Demure chandeliers glitter emerald foxfire throughout the room, radiating from a curious fungi sprouting at the tips of the fixtures' crystal bobiches. The whimsy of the place is overshadowed only by its intimacy. Beyond it, however, you arrive in what looks to be the kitchens. Look, I didn't know how to pronounce the word, so I did my best. It might have been Bobaches. Bobetches. A number of fairies stop their work upon your arrival, and you suspect you might not be welcome. That is, until a tall, lanky fairy, with quite the hat, gives you a smile and introduces themselves as the head chef. And you must be that fabulous magic mushy ma'am, what with the teeth, yes? Ah, Madame Boss has spoken quite so highly of you, yes, indeed. Much flavor to your teeth, hmm? Quite the display of umami perfection. You can't help but find the chef's conviction a bit personal, though their intentions seem pure enough. Oh, you must help us, I insist, I insist! Such a different background, such culinary prowess waiting to be tapped, yes, yes! Please, make for us? Well, not wanting to spurn the chef's hospitality, and also there's not much else to do, you attempt to take a crack at what the kitchens have to offer. Make an attempt at fine cuisine or deadly cuisine. Yes. Chaos. I shall make a souffle that will explode in your face. The corner swirls. That you can click them if you have the proper tokens. I do not believe I have... What tokens do I have? I have... Not sure I have any tokens. Do you know for this card? But it's described in the tokens section of info. Yeah, I think I... Inventory, I don't know. Here, that's where it is. This 4 comes for price. Oh, there's the slider. Purchase goods or otherwise improve your circumstances. Take Soma tokens. Okay. Gotcha. Let's take an attempt at fine cuisine. You prepare yourself mentally and your workplace physically. With all these tools at your disposal, you're sure to make something good. Minutes tick by, but you work with such ease that before long the meal is done. And jauntily does the head chef flutter by, eager to take a taste of what you've made. Ooh, nice! Yes! A spoon floats up to their lips, and for a moment, the flavors stay in their mouth. With a hearty swallow, their wings flutter wildly, with a great smile appears across their face. This is quite fantastic! Absolutely fantastical! Oh, sweet tastes and bastes! It seems that what you've made has been satisfactory for the head chef, and by extension, the kitchen staff. As you make your way back to the foyer, you leave to the tune of accolades and the sound of your ego inflating. Seems like the boss might be taking her sweet time. Oh well, more for you to explore. Okay. The library, the back office. The schmooze was the fairy at the front desk. Another save. Not wanting to go too far, you decide to stop by the front desk, which, as it turns out, doubles as the fairy resources desk. It seems the sassy fairy in the wing-tipped glasses is in charge of settling any and all internal disputes. You can't help but notice the look of abject boredom on her expression. If ever there was someone to schmooze, it's the HR department. Begrudge the incompetent employees. Spread some juicy gossip. Yeah, let's spread some juicy gossip. Leaning over the table slightly, you let a grave air follow yourself into the fairy's gaze. Intrigued, she peers up over her glasses expectantly. You tell her about a juicy love triangle between a number of the high-ranking fairies in the company. According to your sources, the 3 who woke you up in the middle of the night way back when were canoodly. Those motherfuckers Noodling on the clock. The ferry seems fascinated by the information, and before you know it, the two of you have a report built. Satisfied, you return to the main part of the foyer. A timid messenger lets you know that the boss will be just a little bit longer. Guess you can explore some more then. Not canoodling. Yes! Canoodling! Hey, Kev, welcome in, man. How you doing? I guess we'll explore the back office. Save in. Walking into a room adjacent to the foyer, you find yourself in what appears to be an altar. Which, according to the ferries around, it may well be. You're in the accounting department. Never has there been a more dreaded hive of grum and flippancy. One must be lawless. That's a good pun, or good wordplay. At least when dealing with such geeks. Encourage the dreadful working conditions. From Big O to BMO SE. Yeah! This is my little robot buddy, man. Drawn by Ethereal Ramira, the mod. I love the little guy. He's just floating through space. Yeah, let's check the backroom stock. They all seem a bit caught up in their own endeavors, transferring ones and zeros about. Though you catch a few tidbits of conversation asking about stock in the back. Ethereal Ramira, the mod. The mod, my friend. My very close buddy that I, engage in Chaos Gremlin shenanigans in Baldur's Gate 3 with, as well as other games. Such a weird way I said that. Yeah. My lackey. She is absolutely not my lackey. And if I ever addressed her as that, she would surely threaten to stab me. Nobody's able to break away from their workstations to go check, so you volunteer. Totally the other way around. Yeah, I am kind of your lackey, aren't I, most of the time? Especially when we're playing Baldur's Gate. You're met with a few quizzical expressions, but the majority seem relieved and point you in the proper direction. Unfortunately for me. That is probably true. I do not relish being in charge of most things, and would rather just play what I'm really good at, just being a supportive side character and whatever the fuck is going on. I'm too awkward to be the lead character. To be the goofy fucking comic relief. I'm that goofy comic relief that ever so occasionally, during like a filler arc where the main character is indisposed, will come into his own for like 2 episodes, and then once the filler is over, will revert right back to where they were beforehand when the hero comes back. I know about that. Your dice curses have been comically spot on. True. Good luck to myself and bad luck to everyone else around me. Hell yeah. And sometimes just bad luck to myself too. Yeah. But the majority seem relieved and point you in the proper direction. In the storerooms, you realize there's a ton of inventory lining the walls. You try moving some boxes out of the way of others. Since the room is organized well enough, you just have to. It's true. I had complete confidence in the fact that she could easily roll above a certain like DC or whatever, and instead she got a nat 1. Make her arms come off. Uh-oh. Leaving that problem for whoever else walks in there next, you return to the accounting department. As you rattle off the stock that you're making up in your head as you go along, the faces in the room begin to sour. It's clear that they aren't buying what you're selling. Nevertheless, they thank you for your time and tell you to make sure the door doesn't hit you on the way out. Yes, that was so fucking funny too. We were in a magic school, and there was a levitation panel that you stepped on, and it shot you up to the top floor. My character was really, my little peaceful Gabo cleric character was really scared about it, but hopped in and got sent up to the top. And then Stoic's character, who was a monk, that's never seen this type of thing before either, hops on it, and he starts like panicking and like waving his arms and legs around, and so he's made to roll to see if he can make it up to the top unscathed. And as he rolls, I just quipped, I'm like, he rolls a nat 1, just like has his arms sheared off as he goes up through the elevator. And then right after I said that, the dice just rolls and it's a nat 1. And he's sent ping-ponging off the walls as he flies up to the top floor. Taking like 4 bludgeoning damage or something like that. And yes, yeah, I did do that to you too. This is what I do. I don't even try to, I'm cursed. It can't be much longer now. You feel the excitement in the air. Palpable. Rolls a nat 20, right? Then again, that might just be fairy dust. I guess we'll explore the library then. Walking into the library beside the foyer, you're immediately overcome with the smell of old books. There's even a magnificent mirror spanning the sidewall, offering the illusion of a greater space. The room is quite nice, all things considered. Though glancing around, you can't help but notice a mezzanine high above that doesn't lead anywhere. It is, by all means, inaccessible. Who would do that? Inaccessible unless you've got wings. So, you know, I don't think the Fae have problems getting up there. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, right. Little tricksters with the power of flight. Of course. Remarkably, it's silent up in the library. Remarkably, it's silent in the library. Wouldn't it be fittingly, though? Despite the odd fairy or two fluttering about. Looking to kill time, you decide to grab a book off the shelf, gaze at your beauty within the mirror. petition nearby Fae for help grabbing a book. Potency. Nothing else. Maybe because Fae do things we don't expect. That is true. Alright, fair enough. You make a valid point. Without much else to do in a library, you walk up to a shelf and grab the first book you see. And upon opening it, it's illegible. Oh no, this is when we find out that we've never been taught how to read. Oh no, we actually can't read? Even if you could read, there's no way you'd be able to read this. It's clearly in the language of the Fae. Look, I taught her some life lessons, and I bought her a teddy bear, and then I passed out. You try another book, but it's the same thing. Except for life lessons, that's spending time with the witch you clearly had a connection with. I guess I could have done that, but while I didn't want to keep the witch away from my daughter, at the same time I wasn't in a hurry to bring the my little child back in front of her again. Every book is written in their obscure language. Regardless, you find yourself with at least a little bit of insight into their world, oddly enough. As you wait, the boss's head henchman comes down the stairs. All right, the boss is good to see yez. Follow me. What? She was a witch, like, giving a weird, crazy deal of getting a daughter out of a mushroom. She had me do a bunch of tasks, told me that they were more or less kind of pointless tasks, and then gave me a set of options of how I could pay, and I paid with blood. Or life, rather. I don't hate the witch, and I don't begrudge her. But I'm also not really interested and like trying to keep her as a part of my daughter's life. But then it turns out I'm just a bad dad anyways, and my daughter ran away, so nobody's perfect, as it turns out. Turning around, the fairy travels back up the stairs, with you not far behind. Thanks for helping with creating my kid. Now fuck off and never help me raise her. Look, that wasn't part of the deal. Mom. Oh, I hope I didn't keeps yous waiting too long. The boss is a pretty important lady. Real busy sometimes, but hey, yous gots to have a look around, eh? Opening a door at the end of the hallway, the fairy gestures. Oh, right this way. Beyond, into the large bedroom, you spot her. The Tooth Fairy. And behind her sunken eyes, she sees you. And you feel fear. Oh no. Every portion of her gargantuan body is amassed in teeth, and even as you enter, you witness the addition of another. Oh my god! Gaze upon me, child. I am the biblically accurate Tooth Fairy. Oh my god, she sounds like an Elden Ring boss. Shoved into her flesh, grafted onto our very being. From foot to head, she is comprised of thousands of teeth. You have made yourself known, she says, and you realize her maw is empty, devoid of her own teeth. Tooth Fairy the grafted. Yes. Your musty teeth taste so good. They make my own teeth very happy. She licks her lips at the thought. Might I have another? Having found yourself in a position where it's probably best to comply, you break off another tooth and hand it over. You will be consumed. And without missing a beat, the Tooth Fairy, giddy as can be, begins to grate it across her body. Across all the teeth jutting out from her skin. If there is even skin underneath that porcelain shell. When a creature that I can only describe as a cosmic horror covered in teeth tells you to hand it a teeth, one of your teeth, you don't negotiate with that. It's the implication. Welcome in, Bird Nerd 420. We are playing Mushroom Musume here. A game about raising my beautiful, wonderful mushroom daughter, who has now thought to consort with a perfectly reasonable Italian-American, like, Tooth Fairy syndicate, you know? And she's come face to face with the Tooth Fairy herself. The very eldritch horror. You know who'd love this? Michael. Yeah, he probably would. This seems right up his alleyway. Right up his alley. For a time, there comes a slight slurpy noise. It seems the gratings are being sucked into any and all cavities on the fairy's body. Yeah! It's exquisite! The Tooth Fairy shudders, regains her composure. Such delectable morsels. Tell me, sweetheart, if ever you're in need of some money, put a tooth under your pillow. For something like that, we will give you ample rewards. It's such a joy meeting you. Unfortunately, I am quite busy. The head henchman escorts you out of the room after the Tooth Fairy gives you a heartfelt goodbye. You want to make a comment about how you waited all that time for just a brief interaction, but you write it off as a loss. Get his finger out of his mouth! After dealing with this weird place, all you want is the safety and warmth of your bed. As you grow older, you look back over your life. We change our look? We look about the same. Maybe we're a little bit taller. You want one of my teeth? Sure, lady. Oh, okay. I see. Gotcha. No. I see. History. Run this through for the Diallo. Oh, hit escape. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's check the backroom stock. And still on 2. No. We want it better than that. There we go. Luckily, it's all organized well enough that you're able to take a tally of each item by moving the boxes around. Lots of dental equipment and various liquids that seem used for teeth in some capacity. Nevertheless, you managed to take a full stock and return to the accounting department. The fairies are pleased with the numbers and thank you for your time. Can't be much longer now. You can feel the excitement in the air, palpable. It might be just fairy dust. And now we just have the library. Another save. Do. Maybe we will... Wait, did I get a bad roll for reading the book? Or was that just an automatic thing? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Glancing around, you take stock of the fairies currently in the library. And considering it's your best chance at getting one of those elusive mezzanine books, you catch the attention of a nearby fae. Yes? What you want, Mushmouth? Fairy mocks. What's you want, Mushmouth? I can't do a female, like, Sarkin accent. The fairy mocks, her face a constant expression of lackluster meets unenthused. Oh, seriously? Need something? You attempt to stammer out a response. Oh, but get a critical fail. Oh, whoops. I skipped right through that. I once used to go up there and gets me my book, capiche? Hey, it's a bit offensive when you says it. We can look at the history real quick and see what we missed. Rolled a 6. Okay. And then it took me right into the... Okay. Yeah, I'll grab you a book. Just sit tight and keep your yappa shut. The fairy flies up, grabs the book you pointed out, but as she's returning with it, she stops. Gradually, her eyes open wide. Hey, this is that book the boss was looking for. I can't believe you spotted this, Mushmouth. Boss lady's gonna be real impressed with Jews. I tell you what. Before you can say anything, the fairy is gone, presumably delivering the book to her superior, so we don't get a book then. But we do get approval. Not quite sure what to make of the interaction, you turn around and make your way back to the foyer. As you wait, the boss's head henchman... Okay. I feel like this is going to be a lot of the same at this point. Up until a point. Oh, okay. Yous haven't been allowed, or yous haven't allowed. I keep trying to say around, but the word around is not in there. Yous haven't been here very long, and you're already making waves in the company. Well, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Break off a tooth, hand it to her. She rubs it across her skin, or at least the teeth decorating her skin. Squish it. Tell me, sweetheart, would you like to work for us? Sure. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Wonderful. And we should get all the paperwork set aside. Back home, you begin to set up a little office in your side room. You're officially employed, a verified corporate business mushroom. In fact, you're the Chief Relations Officer. You're in charge of being the liaison between the syndicate and their clientele. It helps that the main portal is just a stone's throw from your house, too. With your workplace set up, you kick your feet onto your makeshift desk. Looks like a whole new chapter is about to open up in your life, and you're going for it with teeth bared. No, don't talk about teeth. Ending a magical enterprise. Good job, Conkalulu. You made it. You've worked your way up in the corporate ladder. Nice. A business card and a hat. Gets over by a melancholic moment. Indicates how wet and slimy her body is, but is also the murkiness of the soul. Increased by the right nutrients or things that help nourish the soul. This stat is associated with how generally healthy she is, and yet it could also be a persistent optimism. So she ain't so optimistic. And maybe not the healthiest. Ideal growing by a living presence. The stat is associated with her physical strength, but could also be a strength of character. Not too strong, and given that she decided to hop in with the Tooth Fairy Syndicate, a bit of a gray streak going with her morality. Drip, drip. Increased by a titillating meal or by a titillating danger. The stat is tied to the strength of her mushroom type or her ability to perform in stressful situations. Still not all that good. Super great. Increased by thorough socialization or by doing the right thing. Stat is how good of a person she is, literally and metaphorically. So her two greatest stats are the things that make her very, chaotic neutral, but also a very, kind and, generous person. I love her. Good on you, Conkalulu. You know what? Holy shit! I ended up putting her in as someone who works with the Fae too. Pink from head to toe. with a murky but kind soul and works with the Fae. I think I made a mushroom version of you. This was not my intent. I was simply picking what other options seemed the most entertaining to me. Time to start over. Congratulations on finishing your first run of Mushroom Musume. I'm probably gonna end here in a second once I check out all the after game stuff. I have to work really early in the morning, so but I enjoyed the hell out of this. Yeah, that would be another 2 hours. Were it that it was my weekend and I had a lot more time? Quite possibly, but for now, this has been fun. This has been really nice. You've just discovered one of over 30 endings available in the demo version of the game. We encourage you to experiment a little while growing your next daughter to see just how different she can turn out. Be sure to check out your almanac if you want to track your progress. Oh, right, my almanac. Oh, damn. Oh, is 3-star like the highest type of the highest rating of daughter you can get? Getting rated by Joe. Nice. Welcome in, Joe. Thanks for giving him a shout out, Rum. 0-star, 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star. Oh, that's awesome. Got a top tier daughter on the first try. Yeah, okay. If we got a raid, we can go a little bit more and check out and see what it starts out. Let's go on. This is Mushroom Musume. It is I want to say a roguelike kind of choose your own adventure, almost kind of a little bit of a visual novel type thing. It's very reminiscent of there's a game called Princess Maker where you basically get to train up a daughter and affect her stats by making choices and stuff like that. Even unlocked a new track in my orchestration. That. Princess Maker was the primary inspiration. Oh, neat! Right on. Yeah, we can start a new one. We've got plenty in this demo to keep you busy farming for a while, but I thought I'd also tell you a bit about what awaits players in the full game. We're excited to be working on a new system of minigames for you to play in between sessions. Each grown daughter earns you spores, which can then be used to purchase mushrooming gardening supplies. What you grow in your garden can help shape future daughters, allowing players a little more control over the outcome, or even eventually allowing you to jump right into the third act. Not in a gardening mood? Then your hard-earned spores can instead be gambled away in exchange for rare goodies. How mysterious. Don't you want to know what you'll get? We're also hard at work writing. The full game will have double the word count and double the amount of story content, including an expanding overarching plot. Delve into a dungeon, found a town of bustling with fungal life, or maybe even destroy the Witch of the Woods for good, if you want. Gamble your smart children, right? Not to mention never-before-seen mushroom girls. A cavalcade of new music. Even some unique collectibles that are something else entirely. We're aiming to release the full game in winter of 2024. Wishlist us on Steam to keep up with the newest news. Plus, it helps us out a lot. Actually, you know what? I did buy the itch.io version, but I will go ahead and wishlist the Steam version. Just because. Do you guys... They're 30 plus daughters. Nice. Are you guys gonna, are you guys planning to... Words. Are you guys planning to update the itch.io version right alongside the Steam version as well? Yes, since we're going to be buffing the core gameplay loop, players won't be able to transfer their progress from the demo version. You'll get a little bonus in exchange, at least. Just thought you'd like to know. Thanks for playing. Okay. Alright, well, I guess let's start again. Humble recluse. They recluse. Blah blah blah. Yes, itch is our bread and butter. It'll have the same stuff as the full Steam version. Okay. You wanted a child. Feel like a password that matches your PNG tuber aesthetic? Yes. That would be so cool. Halcyon. Oh, no, not B. Ah, yes, I see. I have something for you. Ooh. Oh. Very, like, Game Boy aesthetic. I like that. It's a previous game I collaborated on with the folks who headed up this game. Oh. I will... That... Take a look here. Human year percent Earth. Is this it? The year is 2506, a vestige of humankind, been sent to Earth on the faint hopes that you will find more than the corpse of once hospitable planet. Instead, you find a landscape blooming with lush, mutated new life. Is that the game? The color palette does, some of the color palette I'm seeing does seem to match it. No? Oh, okay. Is it on, itch.io? Hang on a second while I try to... I was looking on Steam for it. There's a couple of Halcyons. On itch. Halcyon dredged, but you think it's bugged right now? Oh, there it is. Okay. The hypnotist, you've met many a strange client, and you met him. Some minor weird graphical weirdness in this. Okay. I might... Hang on while I... There we go. I will earmark that so I can check it out later. Carnelian, huh? Their other game is Carnelian-ish. as I'm aware, bug-free. And and Carnelian. Emergency log. Collision with unknown object detected. Structural integrity. Oh, it's about people in space or a space station or something like that. That is pretty cool as well. I may have to earmark that one as well and check that out perhaps at a later date. Okay. So I think an engine update happened to Halcyon Dredge that has rendered it unplayable recently. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, wow. That's neat, too. Oop, I'm good for now. Alright, we'll start again. Oh. Jump to color selection. Color selection. Pumpkin, rosy. It's Carnelian. If you ever want other. Nice. I think for now, I'm just going to keep checking out the game a little bit longer. But I appreciate it. There's one, like when you put in, one I like when you put in Trick or Treat. Alright, yeah, we can try one more real quick. Classic Cartoon Network. Oh, okay. Now you got me curious. So polite, and what a cute costume you're wearing too. Rather have a trick or a treat? No trick or treat, okay. Hallowed, huh? Oh, that's right, because I forced it to... Okay. We'll force one more color swap. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, I actually kind of dig that, yeah. Living out in the woods, wanting a child. Then a witch shows up. Do some simple chores. Bring me an heirloom, something she'll forever value. Sharpest knife you own, a dark withered tome. What's that I picked last time? Oh, it was a music box is what I picked last time. And that's been replaced with the sharpest knife I own. A dark withered tome or an old bottle of medicine that has sat unopened. What do we think, you guys? A knife? A dark wizard's tome? Some choices are highlighted by a gem at the top. Oh. Like a dark withered tome? Oh. See now. I've seen. Maybe we'll actually go with the tome this time. See what that does for us. As had been said, the recluse that knowledge... Once it had been said to the recluse that knowledge is power. They weren't sure about that. Eat the book. Books often contained fanciful things. Things that the recluse never got much use out of, but perhaps they would be more useful to their daughter. This one will know how to read. Bringing their prize back to the witch, she simply gave a smile. How perfect. After their brief detour to meet with the witch, the recluse resumed their normal day-to-day schedule. Second day. The recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages. Having a purpose once again soothed them, even if they had found themselves caught up with a witch. They elected not to think about that, though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to, which was to say, they got up and went to meet the witch. Yeah, right? My daughter's actually gonna understand words, written words. Alright. Activities I've been meaning to get to. Perhaps you could make yourself useful and get them some done for me. Tend to a certain matter of a noxious laundry basket. Or read to begin with, right? Prepare the witch a comforting meal. Restock a selection of unsettling components. Let's keep being like... Keep going with these, this gem theme here. Hidden away in a dusty corner of a hut, the recluse found a forgotten basket of laundry that had been left stewing for who knows how long. Dealing with it took most of the day and left them with a lingering cough, but resulted in an unrivaled sense of accomplishment. We've gained a trait. We are molding. Ah, very good. How kind of you. After quickly wiping themselves down, the recluse returned to their hut for the remainder of the night. Decided to complete, the recluse could not feel their excitement grow. Oh no. See, when you say oh no, then I'm actually worried. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed to the meeting spot, waiting for them. Welcome back, recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day. Bring me something colorful that will suit her. I love the idea we're growing our child in our lungs. Oh no! Oh no, that is really bad! When they were first told of the three... Where do we search for color? We searched for in a field of flowers last time. We brought back a pumpkin. Dare we go into the cave of indecision? Let's go to the cave of indecision. I am going to make a new save here. That was a place the recluse went when they could not make their mind up on a matter. Though their daughter's life was important and every choice may matter, they knew that not every choice was theirs to make. It was unfair to saddle her with all this expectations. Sometimes it was best to let destiny decide. They entered the darkness of the cave, feeling soft moss beneath their feet. Once they went far enough back, there was no longer enough light to make out their surroundings. This was far enough. They reached down, taking the first thing they felt into their hands. This is what they would take to the witch. The recluse returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. She silently took the object, nodding her head to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. A promised daughter, huh? Not so fast. We require a few more trifling things from you. First is the matter of payment. Everything's for a cost. Oh, so last time I picked pay with life. Pay me sometime soon in larger quantities. Pay me much later, at a much later date in the way I choose. Maybe we just try giving her money this time. I'm not gonna do the life thing again. What you thinking, Rum? Since we're just doing a new run, I'm kind of equal parts for money now or much later. Yeah, we'll do money now then. They offered their coin purse to the witch, and she took it wordlessly. After pocketing the whole pouch, she returned a single coin to the recluse's hand. This will be sufficient, the witch smiles. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Trim is much more resilient. Give her time. Girl needs a name. What do I think? I'm trying to think of something a little bit more serious this time. Maybe just something simple. We'll name her Tress. Vriska? Okay. That works. I like that one too. Or Haruto. Okay. Tell you what. I'll solve this. I've got a D20 here. On a 1 to 10, we'll go with Vriska. 11 and above, we'll go with Tress. Stop popping my ankles like that. I actually didn't pop my ankles at all, to be honest. I rolled my chair backwards and I turned on a light. Okay, so Vriska it is. Oh, what a unique name, Recluse. Raise her well. Wait. What did we just got a new color palette? What was that one? Hateful? Interesting. I think I'm gonna keep Hallowed. A Homestuck reference. I have never read Homestuck. I know of it, though. This is because of the other devs. Oh, that's no problem. Chapter 2, Cultivation. This one looks a little bit sadder than our original one. You call it way better. That's because it came from our looks. You realize that buried in your new goal, you've forgotten to feed yourself or procure any human food, really. We've got a lot more nutrients and stamina this time, but we're pretty poor. What seems like the most nutritious option? What? No! What is this mushroom for again? It looks tasty. No! Get his finger out of his mouth! He's trying to get the mushroom out of his lungs. The village, their market has many enticing goods. Sneak morsels away from your charge. To the woods for foraging. That will legit end the run. Yeah, I believe it. To the woods for foraging. We don't have money. I think I realized after last time that chapter 2 goes on for as long as you can balance nutrients, stamina, and finances until one or two of them drop below the standard. And then it just ends it. You know where to find food. It's smothering. It's something you've never struggled with previously. It's part of you, and nothing can change that, not even a mushroom. Making your way to your favorite nook, you quickly find what you were after. Of course, the generous bounty of treats for your daughter is a nice bonus. The decision being made, life continued. One day, you awake slightly earlier than usual. In your somewhat somnambulant state, you hear an ethereal croon originating from your garden. When you go out, you spot it. A small fairy clad in hateful is sitting amongst your crops. A small fairy garden in your daughter's room using supplies. Offer a coin to the fairy to gain their favor. Hunt the fairy to use as food for your daughter. Oh my god! Nuke! I don't really want to get in business with the fairies again. But I don't know if we should really be feeding fairies to our daughter either. Hunt the fairy. Yeah, you know what? Whatever. Let's do it. Wait. It gets you an eye bleed pellet. Clad in your child. You're an eye bleed pellet. Oh, I'm cool with that. I like when my eyes bleed. You know well what to do with strange winged beasts. You fetch your bow, making quick work of the thing. You figure it can be used as the same way as a bird, prepared over fire. Berry blooded, huh? Let's see what that one looks like. Oh, they're special colors. Oh! Oh! Oh, that is very pink. Oh, I can switch them in the almanac? Oh. I see. My god. I just like that. Birds. You hope it will infuse your daughter with something special. She's already fey-touched. Perhaps this will fuel something in her. Decision being made. Life continues. Well, something's happening. Oh. Like cracked out sweethearts candy. I gotta be honest, this one is not quite... This is a bad thing to say as a parent of these small little mushroom children. Looks like she's hatched from a Peeps cavity. The pellet gave me a cavity. But this one's not quite as cute as the first one. What it turned into with its little arms and legs. One day you find your daughter has left her pot and now hops around your home with determination. To change the color back, by the way. Yeah. Pop, pop, pop. No, wraps around your home with determination. The creature jumps about with ease, with clear intent now visible on her face. Her demeanor seems active and brazen, often finding herself engaged in troublesome play. Oh, she's a wily one. We encourage her boldness. Your daughter's development is going better than expected, and you want to promote her adventurous nature. You set out furniture and boxes around the home and nearby clearing, giving her more opportunity to push her mobility to its limits. She takes to her new independence easily and often worries you when she wanders too far off. Parkour! Life continued. One evening, you hear a light knocking at your door, quite a rare occurrence. I think this is the witch. Yeah. Yeah, we'll let her in. Or speak to her about your daughter's health. Privately request a stipend. What is my daughter's health? I've not seen mushrooms before that have a certain special gleam. Not yet. Your daughter does not yet have this gleam, but she could if you raise her, right? She actually has 3 stars affection. The mold seems to persist despite your best efforts. Oh. Uh-oh. We'll invite the witch in again. Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. She could even maybe learn a thing or two. Gloomy woman inside for dry and awkward small talk. Good parent run, let's go. Something about the way the two absently stare at each other. Yeah, well, last time I apparently messed up and, we were a distant parent. Even you discovered many footprints outside your home. 3-toed and webbed. Some strange creatures have been poking around. You have heard the rivers of those woods are home to nefarious turtle-like creatures that capture human children only to bring them home and drown them. Fucking kappas? Your child isn't a human, but you feel the leer of envious eyes from the tree line. They know a precious daughter when they see one. By the looks of the tracks, these ones are quite young. Perhaps you can do something to frighten them away from your home. Stand guard until they stop. Hunt one of them. Keep your daughter inside in the evenings. Deal with the issue decisively. Purchase a magic wand. No, we're gonna deal with this decisively. Then be murdered by the parent. What a lovely opportunity, you think, grimacing as you rifle through your things and find a number of objects that will serve you well. Netting, some spare poison, and a sword you swore never to see used again. Though if it's to protect your daughter, you don't see any reason not to. Granted, you've never used a sword yourself before, so you tie it to a long haft and fashion a spear out of it. All you have to do now is take your setup to the river. Tracking the general area where the little monsters like to reside, you set up the net across the river downstream in an area with heavy brush. Then at the other end, you pour in the poison. It's a fun game, sticking them with the spear as they frantically try to escape the water, caught up in the brush in the net, and then by the evening you have plenty of meals for the foreseeable future. Though you can't help but notice your daughter's fixation with the new lawn ornaments, shells on tall wooden skewers, a message that says a message just saying, "Get out." Holy shit. I see. Aw, it's really cute. She really looks really shy and bookish. wait, no, for a second I thought it said 7, but I guess our stamina is a question mark. There's nowhere to be seen. After an hour of searching the nearby area, you find her standing perfectly still in a dense stand of trees. To your surprise, the creature had now taken the form of a young girl. You feel relieved to confirm that the witch hadn't betrayed you. You approach, she turns and acknowledges you silently before continuing to carefully watch your surroundings. Let's watch her quietly, see what she does. You do wonder why your daughter has such a silent intensity, but you decide not to disturb her. Taking a seat near her, you appreciate the beauty of the forest. Spend time thinking lovingly of your daughter. After several uneasy minutes, she simply turns and walks in the direction of home, seemingly finished with her quiet watching. You haven't been taking very good care of yourself. You find yourself so worn out even leaving the house is a challenge. You continue on without regard for your own stamina, you might very well die. Okay, so the game gives you one warning. And then if you let your stamina, nutrients, or finances fall down below 1 again, that's when it ends the second chapter. I get it now. Stay in bed today. You need the rest. You'll be no use to your daughter in this state, and so you decide to spend the day resting. Sitting in bed, you think about your daughter and all the tasks you get done tomorrow. A flock of hungry birds have been harassing both your crops and your daughter recently. In fact, they've become quite the nuisance. There's no reason we can't keep solving all of our problems with violence. You retrieve your bow and are lucky to leave with not 1, but 2 birds from the flock. They shouldn't show up for a while again, and you and your daughter may rest. Nothing more could be done to the birds, the matter was laid to rest. Was this supposed to happen? As the days pass by, and your daughter continues to grow, a certain unpleasant malady of hers continues to grow as well. Oh no. Oh no. No. Despite your best efforts, patches of mold have been appearing more and more, growing shapeless blotches over an ever-increasing proportion of her body. No! You monster throwing my tiny robots! Your desperation to help her intensifies each day, and you spend night after night racked with concern. One morning you awaken to an unpleasantly overbearing aura of decay and find that the worst of your fears has come to pass. No! The voracious mold has bloomed en masse, blanketing every inch of her in noisome fungal fuzz. Congrats on my first 0-star. Aww! Her form obscured by the mess of massive mold. A slight struggled stirring reveals that she can still move, although barely. Clutching her despite the noxious miasma, you pull your daughter close, and attempt to somehow keep her together, even as rough clumps of her fairy-blooded colored mold fall to the ground with gentle thuds. But then, even through the closed eyelids, you sense something, a soft light glowing within her like a tiny amethyst embers. And a new beginning. You didn't realize it was weird at first. Even now, you would feel pretty normal if it weren't for the recluse's deep concern. This mold, you feel, is a part of you. As it blooms, you consume it, spreading, overtaking, and becoming more. You can feel something deep inside you, vibrant and alien sensations, the kaleidoscopic shifting of stars. Even as the feeling extends to your extremities and your parents' face comes into your sight once more, you feel yourself changing ceaselessly. Their expression changes from shock to confusion and finally awe at your new shape. They shakily squeeze your shoulders, finding some half-semblance of form to hold on to. And just like that, your normal life continued. The recluse, as ever, adapted to your changes swiftly, and the memory became just another of your strange daily adventures. wonder if it was because I fed my child a fairy that she overcame her mold sickness. Eventually, you felt the need to tell your parent that you were ready to go out and find adventures of your own. As they grew older, you worried about leaving them on your own. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you had grown enough to want to move out. They even offered to help you build your own home, close to theirs. You were welcome to visit any time, obviously. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. Oh! Oh! Nice! I didn't even stop to think about it until now. Musume Nebulae. Hell yeah. They showed you all of the tricks they knew and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they possibly could. Finally, the day arrived and you were officially on your own. You were scared, a little, but also excited. Felt like a new chapter was just beginning for you. Aw, we've got a loving parent this time. Let's take a look at us. Oh, wow. We are a cosmic Myconid entity. Volatile galaxy slime mold. That is awesome. Truly an adept, you grow at an impressive rate. There are things about you that shift in strange ways. You are touched by magic in some significant way. Very potent, actually. Cards and tokens. We have a Nope card. Oh, okay. Oh, I understand now. That makes sense. We have a spell card. We have 3 spell cards. You can feel the magic flowing through your body. Though it is powerful, it is not unlimited. And we've got a wealth token. Do we have more? Oh, we have more! We got Spore token. Any trap cards? Nope, unfortunately just spell cards. Not even any monsters. This deck is screwed up. You've been thoroughly saturated with the essence of dead fairies. You're almost a magical creature. Is that cannibalism? You've been able... Yeah, thankfully... Look at that! There we go! They know how to read. Already success. Oh, we can gather magics? The children start harassing you. Okay. Nice. They can fart and a jury of their peers. Like I said, good luck to myself, bad luck to everyone else around me. I don't even know how I do this stuff. Okay. Holy shit. Oh, that was fun. This game is awesome. I've had a great time with it. But I think I'm gonna, oh, we went pretty much a whole nother hour doing that, those first 2 chapters again. I think I'm gonna call it here. This has been great. I can't wait to see, what else gets added and, like, how it, like, evolves. I might, yeah, I saved. I'll save again and just so we're good. I might have to return to this. Yes, I saved, Rem, I promise. I might have to return to this and, play some more with my, cosmic mushroom daughter. Yeah. If you want me to play more, yeah, I'll definitely come back to it. Sure. Sure thing. But yeah, this is a really both like thoughtful and charming game with a lot of fun, a lot of like nuance. I enjoy not knowing what the fuck is going to happen next. This is a trip and a half, and I can't wait to see how it progresses even more. But yeah, it's gonna be all for now. Oh, I've actually got a decent little bit of viewership. Let me check and see if anybody in particular is streaming that I would like to raid into. Expressing someone by the critic is a 0-star, right? Lady Corgi 93. Sure. And hey, thanks for dropping by, Zazoruhuna. I absolutely appreciate it. I think this is the first time I've ever played a game where someone who worked on it like dropped in to hang out. It's really cool. Wonderful night. Thanks, you too. Alright, everybody, we're gonna drop in on Lady Corgi 93. Be nice, say hi. And everybody, have a great night. You too, Bird Nerd. Bye-bye now.